Peace, Erica. How are you, sis? Peace. Peace, oh young. How are you? Peace, divine relationship, alchemy. Hey, sis. Hey, sweet sensations. What's up, bestie? Peace, balance. So, I've been waiting for the right time. Y'all, just ignore me. Um, I've been waiting for the right time to do this, and I'm gonna do it now. I say, Angel Army, peace to you. It's 14 people in. I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I don't have a lot of time. But Chadwick is not letting me sleep without communicating things to me. So I know I gotta get this out now. If I'm not looking at your messages or the chat and I'm not watching, it's not personal. I'm gonna channel. I want the channel to be pure. I want the channel to be clear, and I want it to be done with love and nothing else. So many people do these like tarot card readings and messages and channel messages and EVP boxes when people transition. And, sometimes I can't help but feel like the intention behind it is not pure. So it is so important. It's so important that I completely set myself aside as a medium. I'm not communicating with him as a person. I am allowing my soul, an expression of my soul, to have a channel directly with his soul. So when I channel, I'm channeling through love. I'm channeling through compassion. We are all connected. Okay? Everything is everything. If you know a little bit about the law of one, you know what I'm talking about. There is no separation. Separation is an illusion. Okay? And once you practice, you get more tapped in and you realize more and more it's an illusion. That's why I can do this. So now that I kind of explained it, so this is not when you come to a certain level in your spiritual maturity, um, this is just something you have to do. And I'm not comfortable with this because he has told me some things that I couldn't stop crying. I'm not comfortable with this, but I have to do this. Chadwick decided to battle cancer secretly because he had a commitment to cultivating compassion for the image of the black man. This began early on for him from the death of someone who was shot, I think, in high school. And that was the first time he put pen to paper to write a story. He's like, I want to be a director. And so he expresses to me how he went to school to learn to be a director because that ignited something in him. He was like, yo, like, this story, this is great. Really good response. He was like, I'm supposed to direct. He never wanted to be in front of the camera. This isn't new. You can look this up. And so I asked him, I'm like, but Chadwick, like, I know if I'm practicing self-healing methods, like you like genius status. I know that you could have. I know that you could have at least tried. You could have combined Eastern and Western medicine. You could have allowed a Babalawo or someone from our motherland. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have. He said, I chose not to. I was like, okay, why? Like, why? Why would you choose not to? He was like, because this is the commitment. I have to teach people what commitment is. I have to show people that we are not savages. We are not goons. We are not thugs. We are not heartless murderers. The image of the black man cannot be changed unless we transition from this world running our victory lap. So I said, so what are you saying to me? He said, I'm saying I had to run my victory lap. And that was me carrying the weight of having cancer, knowing that it was terminal, knowing that the clock was ticking. And I committed to these movies. I committed. I was sick, excruciating pain nobody could imagine. But I didn't want anybody to know because I wanted them to remember me for running the victory lap. Run your victory lap. When you transition to the next world, how do you want to leave? Do you want to leave and you gave up in the middle of the race? Do you want to leave and you didn't even start the race to becoming better, to doing something that helps humanity to be better? You must transition running your victory lap, whatever that means to you. If you don't know what it is, find it. The soul will show you. But you cannot allow fear. You cannot allow trials and tribulations to cause you to let your dream die. These are the lessons that I wanted to teach. So, day before yesterday, right before I went to sleep, I was meditating. I was like, oh, like you got your wings. He has the enormous. And I was like, what does this mean? I'm actually yesterday, just by coincidence, nothing is by coincidence. On my timeline was the last text message. And in the last text message, he talked about how it had rained in Los Angeles for 3 days. Anybody know anything about California, Southern California, Los Angeles? They don't get a lot of rain. And rain for 3 days straight. The heavens opened up for him. This story has been told in mythology over and over again. Even the mythology of Christ. Even when Mel Gibson was recording Passion of Christ. It's about skies. And in that text message, he said, but we will have these small breaks of sun. And he said, I want you to go outside and take a deep breath. He was teaching sun gazing. He was teaching chi. He was teaching gratitude for breath. He said, take a breath. When the rain breaks, go outside and take a deep breath. This is someone who, in excruciating pain, God only knows. I've had 15 surgeries. I don't know how many he had, but oh my God, they are painful. And his attitude was of gratitude on his deathbed. So in that message, the very next thing that I heard between this text message was angel. He said, I'm confirming that for you. I said, okay, that was confirmation you did. You got your wings. So much like Michael Jackson when he crossed over and became an archangel, this is a very similar thing that happened with Chadwick. And depending on things that you do in your life and what you choose to do with your life determines your afterlife. So wings can be symbolic of many things. And I'm not going to get into the symbolism right now because there's so many other things he wants me to communicate. So number one, he was dedicated to cultivating compassion for the black man and changing the image of the black man. He chose his roles very specifically because of his dedication. He was fired from one of his first jobs on a soap opera because he said it didn't sit well with him to be playing a role of this black man who was basically being depicted as a typical black man. He went to the directors and the writers and talked to them about it. That's courage. This is you don't come from money. You looking at six figures and you speak your truth. He taught a lesson in authenticity. He Don't let money be the reason that you sell and forfeit who you are and your mission. So in that, he taught authenticity. Did he have doubt afterwards when he was fired? Yes. Did he think to himself, the next person who took that role and it took some of the bits and pieces that he gave them about the role in a more positive way to do that? Did it hurt? Yes. But he didn't stop. He didn't stop. Nipsey Hussle ran his victory lap. If you look at who have been transitioning, Kobe Bryant ran his victory lap. They're leaving while they're running a victory lap. So in the afterlife, and I know some of you, well, the true spirituality of it is we all bleed red and we're all human. Can't. I get that. But there are some things on this planet that must be healed. And there are some issues that's like looking at maybe how colon cancer is African American men specifically have the highest rates. You can't ignore that. You can't ignore those statistics. You can't take a spiritual band-aid and put on that and be like, well, we all bleed red. And I understand people's intention on doing that. They want us to see that we are one. Those of us who have souls, especially. I get that. What's being built right now is of men who had a very messianic energy and a messianic mission. And you know what he told me that broke my heart? He loved his wife so much. He married her before he left. And that was something he made sure that he did. And, I'm sure they probably wanted to have a family. Just how committed he was to this. And he told me, he said, I knew when I was visiting those children with cancer, and two of them that I got close to passed away, I knew that I had to complete this. That's what gave me the strength to keep going. And I said, but you wanted to be a director. We all have 3 exits. There are 3 different ways every human being chooses to exit this life. Why did you choose? Like that's like, why not choose you? You are a director. You are genius in your scripting, in your philosophy, in your writing, in your artistry. Because he said only in death, within a 3D world, can we leave a major impact. So yes, I did direct my exit. And yes, I knew that it would break a lot of hearts. But I needed to do this because it is a part of my mission and why I came here. So, as you all know, I did a channel message on Kobe. Kobe ended up coming to me night after night after night. I had no idea about any of this until like an hour ago. Him and Kobe had talked and met and we're going to do a project together. Who would have thunk it? And this was based on creative energy, which is divine feminine energy. This was based on philosophy, art, basically consciousness, 4D, 5D dimensional awareness. So you have the Black Mamba and the Black Serpent, who were going to do one of their biggest projects ever in 2020. And they running a victory lap. That is commitment, and that is so powerful, and that is so hard. So I know that this message will be confirmed because Black men have such a difficult path. So many of our men, in their trauma and in their brokenness, and just not having the same opportunities as others, and just having so much stacked against them, a lot of them end up incarcerated for small things, for nonviolent crimes. They spend the rest of their life to right. No human should have to go through that. And so, from Prodigy dealing with sickle cell, and he just kept going. He released Hegelian dialect, and guess what? He dies right after. Pay attention to when they are transitioning. And it's such a shock to us when it happens because we're like, it was so many great how to shift all energy of this and generational trauma that has been passed down since we were brought here as slaves, and they transmuted the darkest of energy, and they were teaching alchemy with their life. So I want to encourage you all to feel this. He also wanted people to what they're putting in their bodies. You don't have to be perfect. He said, but I also allowed this to bring more awareness to colon cancer. It's killing our men, young men. And we're going to see some changes because of this development. And I have some screenshots. I may put a video together showing you the statistics and a lot of other things. Um, but black men, y'all have to be more serious about your health. All of this is in alignment with the teachings of Dr. Sabi. He knew who Dr. Sabi was. And when I saw them today, their meeting before they transitioned, like Kobe already knew Chadwick was on his way out. You know what I'm saying? When Kobe bowed out, Nipsey already knew he was on his way out. Dr. Sabi, Dick Gregory, Dr. Africa, Mutwa, I mean, the list just goes on and on. They're like bowing out in victory laps back to back so suddenly, and it's shocking for us because our perception of death is skewed because of the indoctrination and history, you know. So when I did the breakdown of 42, periodic table of elements of 42. And 42 is this metal that adds strength to everything else. It is a transition metal. It is also a metal that is a byproduct of copper, as in copper colored people. And the more that I researched the molecular structure of this, it led me to two other periodic tables. And when I put them side by side, unintentionally, it spelled mother. Can I make this up? And, I've been sitting on it like, should I put this information out there? Because I don't want, I hate for people to think that I don't really give a fuck what people think, but I don't like for people to think that I'm trying to use my gift to make money or to gain popularity. So I don't jump on everything every time something happens. And, so I just been sitting on it. A lot of people that I'm doing readings with, like, I don't even know what to do. I work in the medical field, and I don't even feel comfortable going to work anymore and coming home to my children and my husband. Like, shit is heavy and it's mad dense right now, but the work is being done. So I want to encourage you, do not allow your dreams to die. Run your victory lap by any means necessary. You're going to have people who do not believe in you. You're going to have people who tell you it's stupid. You're going to have people who tell you, oh, you into some devil stuff. You're going to have people tell you need Jesus. You're going to do what is authentic to you. And for a lot of us in soul who aren't able to see us, the trauma, we can't each other. There's no resonance. There's no connection. There's no real intimacy because we all wounded and we had not had time to heal. A lot of us don't even know where to begin to heal. And so we go through life disconnected. We go through life numb. We go through life fearful. We don't make decisions because we've had so many tragedies and traumas. It's like, I don't want to make a decision because if I make the wrong one, I may be stacking another layer of trauma and tragedy on top of the trauma and tragedy. I already don't know how to heal. This is the message that he wanted me to bring. And he's like, thank you. So I'm done. Thank y'all for taking the time to listen and watch this. I'm going to decide if I'm going to upload the other information. But again, I hope that this does honor the intention here, and to not claim that I know everything. But I know, even if somebody in his crew, there will be validation of this message. There will be validation of this message. And they in the afterworld. And they finna rock some shit. They finna change some shit. So let's get in alignment. As above, so below. Let's come together. Let's practice. Let's try. Try a little more to be collaborative in our dreaming. To you don't have to do it alone. Call for help. Call for your ancestors to help you and guide you. Call for your soul family. We got to get to a point when the separation and the division is no longer hindering us because we live afraid of what people and afraid to make decisions. This is so close to my heart because I have suffered every day of my life. I've taken every herb, tried every experimental thing. People that know me will tell you she eats healthier than anybody I know. And I have not been able to fully heal. I have days I cannot get out of bed. And I keep going. I created this channel to allow my weakness as inspiration and strength. And 12 years later, my channel has over 1 million views. And I still can't believe it because I was definitely weird and odd. Because I have died 2 times, completely flatlined, and have experienced the afterlife and decided to come back. I believe that this is why I'm able to channel these messages in the way that I am, because within the cellular memory of my being, I have experienced both sides. And I think it's easier for them to come and talk to me. I think that's all that I want to say. But I want to inspire you. As we go forward, there will be more people having chronic illnesses, cancer, all kinds of sicknesses with the viruses, with the pandemic. But don't allow yourself to get in fear, okay? Stay in love. Stay in love. Practice that vibration. And we are going to heal. And there is absolutely lessons within the suffering. Absolutely. But it does not have to dictate who you are and the kind of person you are and how kind and compassionate you are. You can be however you want to be. You don't have to allow pain, trauma, and tragedy to make you mean, to make you closed off, and to make you fearful. Go for whatever it is that you want to do. And if you fall, at least you failed trying. And it wasn't because you didn't even attempt to make a difference.